And welcome back. Today I'm looking at NTEHub that allows you to record, for example, lectures, minutes from a meeting, just any kind of audio information. And what it does is you can organise it by adding slides, attachments that are relevant to that audio, and so on. So it's great for students importing their slides and syncing the audio to the corresponding slides and colour coding and adding additional notes and attachments. So without further ado, let's get stuck in. Once you've got your licence, you're ready to go. You'll be presented with this first page. Now it's important to have a look to settings at the bottom here. Just make sure you're happy with everything. Maybe you want a bit of screen tinting. You can add it there. And then you can change your password, current, new, and confirm password. If you go to Writer as well, you've got a few options there. You've got something called Manage Label Sets. Now I'll show you this later, where you can actually add colour references to your slides and that to organise them. And you can even add a label set there. But I'll show you that later so you get kind of an idea with that. So let's put revert and click done. Also, you can choose where you want display speed control and spelling errors. Then you've got your dashboard. I'll show you enable bookmarking by labels later. So let's go back to my dashboard. Now there's various methods that you might need to record audio. One, you could be in a lecture environment, so you could import the slides and then record the audio while you're sitting there. Maybe you want to film the whole lecture, the video, which you can do as well, and then add labels, add bookmarks and organise that as well. So there's various options. So I'm going to start with the first option. Let's just say you're in a lecture, you've got your laptop and you want to record the lecture. Now bear in mind with this comes with an app as well, which I'll show you at the end of this tutorial. So I'm going to select start recording. So I'm going to turn the cam on first, and there's the cam there, and there's my head. Say you're sitting in a lecture environment and you want to record the lecture, so we're ready to go. But before you do, select the labels option here. Now if you've got an external cam, even better, because you can place it in a specific position. But if you've got a laptop, we could use the internal cam as well. But this also depends on how far away you are from the lecturer and speaker. But I'm going to show you this quick anyway to give you an idea. So I'm going to click the record button here, and then I can add labels, so I can colour code each bookmark. I can do it by tapping on them here or selecting them here. So I'm going to select record, and then I'll be recording. So imagine you're in a lecture environment or a meeting, and you might look at this and go, do you know what, I don't quite understand that. So then I've created a bookmark but colour coded it, which I'll show you later. Then I could come down here and go, oh, a key definition one, that bookmark. Or I could come to the right and just add a general bookmark there as well, if you don't want to colour code them. And let's do another one there. So that way you can go through them all, and when you're happy you can select the stop button in the middle here. And then it gives you the option here to save it, so I'm going to select save. I just call this live video lecture. Let's put that in. And select save. Before you do, if you've got slides, you can attach them. Now I'm going to add these demo slides, because obviously I've got no slides for that video, it's just a general one. Imagine these are slides that actually come with that lecture, and I'm going to select save. Click OK, and you can see it's processing. Give it a little while, click OK. So it'll take a little while to do that because it uploads it, and you can see here preparing. So that's the first option. Live lecture, you want to film it. Second, say you're sitting there in a live lecture, you normally get a microphone with NTEHub. It's a directional mic as well. Remember, you can use your phone as well and transfer it over to your software on your desktop or Mac. So I'm going to show you, just imagine you've got some slides. I'm going to do a new project, and you've got some slides you want to import, and then you want to record the lecture while you're sitting there, but not the whole video. So I'll just call this, just call it lecture 1. Select done. And it's imported, but you can't see anything yet, but not to worry because you're currently in board. You need to go to files first, and then come up the top left hand corner, select plus, and then we can grab the PowerPoints, pop them in here. So I'm not going to drag and drop them, I'm just going to choose them through that option and select open. Give that a little while, that will now import the slides up into your NTEHub. Here we go. Once they're up there, you're thinking, well, slides, I can only see one slides. We know it's PowerPoint. I can see the extension there, PPTX. If you come to the right hand corner, select the option here and select split pages. That will then split all the PowerPoints so you can see them all individually. Might take a little while. There we go. Now, once you've done that, you've got an option at the top here, because if you see, we've got 19, 18, 17. I prefer them to have them alphabetically, so I'm going to put A to Z. That's better. So now we're all set up with the slides. Now you've got to look at the files options where you're adding information in first ready. So then if you go up to board, then they all are in order. You can see document 1, document page 2 and so on. You could leave this first option here if you want to and add a note in there if you wish. It could be telling you yourself or some information regarding the lecture. But I don't need that, so I'm going to come to the right hand corner and select delete note. I've got my slides on the left and I've got my blank option on the right, and at the top here is where I can record while I'm sitting in a lecture, and on the left, if I want to, I could add an additional track from a recording or bookmark as I'm listening. Now if I come into the option here where it says note page 1, if I click into it nothing's happening, because look at that as more of a container. So you've got slide 1 on the left, but in slide 1 you want to add a note, so click plus to add a note, tap into it, and on the right you can rename that note. Now remember, this note is where you're going to use when you type in your information during a lecture or after a lecture, or maybe you want to put a bit of information before. So I'm just going to call this slide 1. There we go. So I've got note page 1 and my first note in there, which is slide 1. Now on certain slides you might want to break down the topics with different notes, so what I could do is add 2, and remember, click back on it. You could do this during the lecture, but I think it's a good idea to plan it before. So you've got all your notes ready to type into if you need to type. And I could call this slide 1, topic 2. It's up to you what you want to put in there. So that way I'm breaking down each individual slide into some form of structure to work with. So there you go. First slide, and I've got my 2 notes. Also, if I come to the right of them, select this option here, I might want to colour code them. I'll do like yellow just to help me remember during the lecture or after. I'll make them both yellow as they're both note page 1. So then if you want, pre-lecture you can come down to the second slide, page 2, note page 2, add a new note, tap into it, and you might want to name that slide 2. I'm only going to leave 1 in there, but you get the idea. You can add as many notes as you want. And again, click on it, I can then change the colour. And don't forget in there as well, if you need to, you've got your spell check, or you can delete that note if you don't want that note. And we'll just do one more for luck. So again, this will be slide 3 plus. There's my note, tap on it, and then give it a title. Nothing original, just call it slide 3, and tap off it. Let's change the colour. I'm going to make that a green. Again, you don't have to use the colours, but it's really helpful because you look at it now, it just distinguishes between different slides. Now, as I said earlier, normally with NTEHub you'll get a mic, a directional mic that you can plug into your laptop or app on your phone and start recording. But as we're looking at your laptop or Mac, you're now ready to record. Now, before I hit the record button here, let's start recording and then add in the bookmarks. We have an option here. So as you're listening, and let's say you clicked on slide 1, and then you come to the right, or slide 2, slide 1, and you type your notes in. So let's say we selected slide 1. You type in a few notes in. Well, we'll actually play it back in a minute for you, but I just want to show you something quickly. What you could then do, got an option here while you're listening. Click these little 3 dots, and you could then send that when you're listening to which bookmark you want. And then what happens, I'll show you while we're doing it. It sends it to your bookmarks section here on the left, and it'll all be organised 1, 2, 3, and so on. It's a good way to organise them, so you can take them out of the original lecture, file them away into your bookmarks, and carry on with each slide. You can always change over the slides if you want, where you need them in order, or if you need to edit them, so don't worry about that. So I'm ready to go, so I'm going to click on slide 1, see it appear on the right. I'm going to come up, I'm going to hit the record button, but first I need something to record. So let's just imagine there's a lecture going on in the background. So what I'll do is I'll turn on YouTube here, turn something on as an example.
The following content is provided under a Creative Commons license.
There we go, I'm going to minimize that.
Your support will help MIT OpenCourseWare continue to offer
Now I'm going to hit
high-quality
record.
educational
Once you hit
resources for
record,
free.
select record audio
To
and
make a
hit
donation
bookmark as your
or to
first
view
bookmark.
additional materials from hundreds of MIT courses, visit MIT OpenCourseWare
We'll let that play a little bit.
rcw.mit.edu.
And if you want on the right here, again, when we're on slide 1, you could add notes.
So the course you're currently sitting in is 18650, and it's called Fundamentals of Statistics. And until last spring, it was still called Statistics for Applications, and it turned out that really
Now,
based on the content,
this is what you can do
fundamentals of
next. If you
statistics
come up with the bookmark
was
option, that's
a
bookmark
more
1.
appropriate title.
I might look at that and go,
So
right, if I select
I'll tell you
here,
a little
send
bit
to,
about
I'm
what
going to
we're going
send
to be
that to
covering in
bookmark 1
class,
and
what this
finish with it.
class is about, what it's not
Disappears.
about.
Now I
There's
can select
several,
bookmark 2
I
for the
realize
second
there's
bookmark I'm now
several
listening to.
offerings in statistics on campus.
And again, hit the
So
notes here and it'll appear on the
I
right.
want to make sure that you've chosen the right one. I also understand that for some of you it's a matter of scheduling. I need to actually
And again, you can add your notes in there. You don't have to add notes. You can do that post-lecture if you want as well. And while you're listening, you might go, actually, I want to add another note in there. Maybe there's additional information. And while you're listening, because remember, you're recording it anyway, you could add additional information in there. But I'm going to get rid of that and select delete.
That I was actually trying to send.
Then I'm happy with that.
All right, so what are the
Then I
goals
can
of
now
this,
click again.
class?
I'm going to
the
send
first
that
one is
to
basically
bookmark
to give you
2.
an introduction. No one here is
And then we can go
expected
down
have
to
seen
3,
statistics
4,
before,
5, 6, 7
but
and
as
so
you
on.
will
So
see,
what I'm
you're
going to do is,
expected to have
I'm
seen
going to pause the
probability,
lecture
and usually you do see some statistics in a probability.
and then go back to NTEHub. So if we come to the left now, there's bookmarks all organised and even your notes there. We can tap on that to turn that off. So now when I've finished, I can select stop, click OK. It's now going to save it. So remember, you're working between board and bookmarks, the two. So now I can select back to board here. And by that time you probably would have used all your slides up and you export them to bookmarks ready. Or if you want, you can use the sync bookmark action. It'll do it automatically for you if you don't want to do it manually either. Let's have a look at the top here. So I'm going to go back to bookmarks. Now can you see at the top here we've got 1 and we've got 2 in the time and the timeline of when we created a bookmark. So you've already organised it. So what we could then do, I could go to 1, play it back. We'll let that play a little bit and select stop. But another option to the right here, you can play it from here. Again, you can add an icon. So if I select plus, I could add another text note, or I could even add an attachment from device. And then I can drop an attachment into there, whatever it might be. It could be a Word document, a JPEG or whatever, just to support the information in that slide. But if you come to the option here, you can assign a label to it. So for example, you might look at bookmark 2 and go, there's a lot of references in that. By the way, it does annoy me this, I prefer number ascending. So let's go to the first slide, and again I could assign a label in there. Again, maybe didn't understand that slide too much. So again, you're organising everything through labels and colour code. Now just a quick point on the labels. Come to the left, select labels. There they all are. We looked at them at the beginning in the settings option, didn't we? But you've got an option here because you can click plus and you can add a new label if you want. And if you come to the right, you can select here and it will show you if that label's been applied to any bookmarks yet. Now, remember, if I go back to bookmarks, I've used don't understand and green references. So if I come along here and go to don't understand and select the option here, you can see I've used that bookmark at 2 seconds. So it's a good way to jump to specific information in there as well. If I select that little eye there as well, it will disappear. Also, you can drag it into position. If you want it near the top, you can drag that into position at the top. Now if I come to the right, I've got an option where I can export it. I'll show you that later. Select all the bookmarks in there, but there's only one in there anyway, because I could unassign it, I could remove from timeline. If I did that, then it would disappear from your timeline completely. And the other one was green, so if I click on that, you can see bookmark 2, and hence the time I started doing the second bookmark. So again, if you want to use those labels, definitely worth doing. Let's go back to bookmarks. Now there's another little option here I haven't shown you yet. Quality wasn't too good because I didn't have a mic and I was just playing through the speakers. But if you come to the right here, it's got a transcription option. So if I tap on it, I had to do a refresh there, reload, after about a minute and a half. I think it's a browser problem I've got, but it brought up all the transcription for me. So I don't think it's picked up too well, but we'll give it a go. So I'm going to come down and set the play button at the top there for the first slide. Yeah, you can see where I've messed up that with the voice in the background. And select pause. It wasn't too bad actually picking up my voice, but again, as I was recording through speakers that are really low. So again, it's something you could play around with as well. So if it's good transcription, you could then highlight, couldn't you? Then Control C, you can copy it into whatever slide notes you want, as so. Just a quick option for you as well, better show you this. I'm going to open up the original lecture. I'm going to copy the link at the top, minimise that, and let's just say you want to add that link to that web page. Now we could paste it in there, but another option would work quite well. If I just double tap that name there and come down to an option with the link, tap on it, then I can paste it here. URL. Choose which protocol, HTTPS :// and you can do your link, what kind of link you want. So you could do it to an email if you want. And then I'm happy to go, select OK. I've now hyperlinked that. See on the left it's hyperlinked, so if I tap on it and it brings it up. So let's go back to, also you can drag these along the timeline, so you might have actually missed slide 2 and it should be starting at 46 seconds. So you can drag that quite easily as well. If you want to improve the sound, come up to Actions, select Audio Quality. I'll show you export to documents soon and import bulk notes if you want as well. Also with more, you can remove audio or video or download it if you want, and you've got some shortcut keys if you want to use by selecting them there as well. Help's pretty good as well, you've got live help support and a help guide. Also don't forget the option where it says keywords. Now currently I've got no keywords in there. But once you've done your notes, let's go to bookmarks and let's just say, for example, materials here. So I'm going to tap on slide 1, topic 2. I'm going to highlight materials. Now you can put out keywords. So I'm going to select the little option there that says create keyword. It's going to ask me where I actually want it in my label section. So I'm going to have that keyword as, what should we have it as? Key definition. And select done. Then I can go down, grab another keyword. Next, select the K again, and then I can choose, for example, important examples, and select done. Now we come to the left of keywords, we've now added them into your list. So you can choose how you want to work with those keywords. So if I select the 3 little dots here, you can change label. If you actually see that, for example, as maybe I have a question about it. Also in that option you can export it, so put all your keywords together, display highlight, so I'll show you that now, it shows everywhere, and you've also got an option there where you can unmake keywords, so it's no longer obviously a keyword. But if I go back to bookmarks, you'll see now if I come into here it's highlighted it in that colour because I've selected that option to show all my keywords. It's really handy when you're studying, when you need to access specific words, keywords within a document or your own notes. So I'll go back to keywords, come back up here, and I'm just going to unmark them. And then go back to my option, bookmarks. So let's just say you've done all your slides, you've typed in your notes, you decide actually I want to export it now. So we're going to go to Action and select Export to Document. Now you've only got one option here to PDF, but it doesn't matter because in Word you can import a PDF and turn it into Word anyway, which I'll show you, which is free. So you choose what you want to do, text and images, text only, so you select what you need there. I'm going to select Export and click Done. So if I come down bottom left hand corner, select Show in Folder. So now I'm going to open a blank Word document and open that PDF in that blank Word document, and it should give me Word format. So File, Open, let me find it, it's in my download folder, and there it is. Double tap it. If I maximise it, we've now got that as a Word format. Select Enable Edit at the top, and then you've got all your notes and information and slides all in order, and you've even got your key labels there for you at the bottom if you need them. So it's not an issue with exporting in PDF anyway, and get rid of that. So there's two methods. One was recording live lectures, which I want to go back to now. Remember, I was waiting for that to finish uploading earlier. So if I go to the top and select NTEHub, takes me straight back to where I originally was, and I select my projects, and there it is, live video lecture that I recorded. I'm going to open it up, and there you can see the video on the right. I know there's not a lot happening, but imagine it was a live video you recorded. So again, we can do the same thing again by clicking into here if you want, and then you can add your notes, couldn't you? Depends on how you want to do this after the lecture. So again, I could put slide 1. That's done. Again, I can go to my next option, going all the way down. But what I want to do quickly again, come up to number ascending, because it does throw me and go A to Z. That's better. So I can click on that one. So that's actually going to be 1. You see how I got that wrong there, and I put the wrong slide number in. So slide 1, and so on. Then I can go down to 2. Also, if you want, you come to the top, you don't have to have bookmark 1. You can just change that as well and do slide 1 if you prefer. There you go, and then come here and change the note. So I'm going to click into here, change it to slide 1. Click the enter key and we're done. So come back to slide 1, slide 2, and you go through them all again if you wish. So I'm going to go back to slide 1, click on it. So we've got a live lecture on the right that we recorded earlier. And if you remember, I was pressing those label keys when I was recording at the beginning, and there they are. I've got red, brown. So I've got some organisation before I even started. And remember, I added 4 bookmarks. So now if I play it back, and then I'll be recording. So imagine you're in a lecture environment or a meeting, and you might look at this and go, do you know what? And then you can pause it, and then you can afterwards tap into here and type up your note. Easily done. But what happens if you're in a lecture and it's not recorded for you within the lecture and you can't download it? How do you record a lecture while you're watching it, maybe on Teams or Zoom? I think your best option will be this. If I open up that lecture again, say you want to record this lecture, for example. Why not use the built-in Windows plus G key? We'll bring up this Xbox option. Just put not now. You can then record it using this. Actually, you can record anything on your desktop using this option. All I've got to do is hit the record button, and off we go. So let's give it a go. So I'm going to hit record, and it will appear top right hand corner. If you want your microphone as well, select this option here so it can hear your voice and what's being recorded on your PC. I'm going to select play. I'm going to click Windows key G to bring it all up again.
Hopefully you'll be able to take the main principles back with you and apply them to your particular problem. So what I'm hoping that you will get out of this class is that when you have a real life situation, and by real life I mean mostly at MIT, so some people probably would not call that real life, the goal is to formulate a statistical problem in mathematical terms.
I'm going to pause the video.
If I want to say...
So now, if I actually minimize that, if you actually go to your videos folder on your computer, and there it is. So what I could then do, if I close that, upload recording. Choose the one you want, let it upload. Select done. Change the name because I don't allow any hyphens or periods or anything, so I'll get rid of all that. Introduction to statistics, select done. Click OK, it's now saving up to your server. So if I go to my projects, you can see it here. So if I tap on it, I can bring it open. You can see it on the right as well there, look. If you've got the slides for this, then all the better. And you could import the slides. Remember, files, plus, grab your slides. I use these demo slides again to import them in. Then you've got the video from the lecture that you've recorded online that we've imported in. Actually, so what I could do is split them again. So we've got them all separate, the slides. Once imported, remember, you can have it alphabetical A to C if you want, then go up to board. So now we've got all the slides. I'll get rid of that one again. And you've also got the video here to play back.
Course, I'm sure some of you have some ideas, but I wouldn't expect anything. And we'll be using that.
And there you go. Remember, you can add a note, and then you can add your notes in here that you need. So there's a few different ways that you could use NTEHub to record lectures or notes. That's pretty the same on the Mac as well. So if you're on the Mac, then you use QuickTime to record the actual lectures, and then you can upload them. Everything else is exactly the same as you see on the app for Windows. Next, we're going to have a look at the app. Now we're going to have a quick look at the NTEhub. I believe they're updating this soon, but I want to show you the basics and using it anyway. And this enables you to record a lecture or meeting or anything you want and then upload it to your NTEHub. So before we start, go to settings, bottom right hand corner, and depending on the storage and the amount of time you've got remaining, you can choose whether you want high, click OK, or medium quality audio. You've got to select your audio format, it's only MP4. Now, when you add a bookmark, you've got a couple of options here. You can open the camera to automatically take a snapshot, be it a slide while you're there, or maybe a blackboard, whiteboard. Or you can choose open scribble pad, where you can do a quick note. Last of all, you've got to devise how much storage you've got. Now, top right hand corner, to invert the colour back and forth. And if you go to folders at the bottom, you can then add folders at the top by clicking plus. I'm going to add test and select add. Now I'm ready to go. Bottom left hand corner, hit the record button. Now click the middle button to start recording. Give it a name, so I'll call this test again, and I'm going to put it in the university folder and select create. And you can see now as I talk, it's now recording. Now here's the bookmark option, so every time you click that you can separate slides or information. See the bookmark one. Now if I tap on the bookmark, I can choose to add a colour. So then you can start colour coding your information and select done. While I'm here, I could also add a note. So I could type a quick note and select add note. Also, if you want to take a snapshot with the camera option, select camera and then you take a snapshot. Use photo bottom right, and then you've organised your information by adding a note, colour coding the bookmark and adding an image, be it slide, white or blackboard. Select into here and there's your images as you build them up. Come back out of here, select back up top left, and then you can add a second bookmark and carry on working on that. So bookmark 2, this time I'm going to select scribble and you can do a quick note. And then you can change your colours and so on. Select confirm, and then again if I go back top left hand corner, you've now built up your information. Now when the lecture's finished, click the stop button and then click OK. Now I've got a few options here. If I click the middle button, it will upload to my NTEHub server, but you have to put in your details, same as your NTEHub. Or I can use this button here to send it via email or even maybe a cloud. But click the middle button and give you the options here, UK server or US, and put your username and password here and it will automatically send your recordings to your NTEHub. Thanks for watching.